are my friends. Come along with me, see how the story ends.
Howdy, folks. We're back. Fortunately enough, our RV did not burn down, but we do have one of the surviving victims with us today. Tyler, Dylan's brother, will be joining us. If you're just tuning into this episode for the first time, we're the Professional Hippies. Each week, a little different. We're coming off an expert series. If you want to hear from people that are vastly more intelligent than us, I encourage you to stop this episode right now and go back in time, covering topics around business, psychedelics, sometimes business and psychedelics in the same episode. This episode will not be that. This is us coming back from EDC. Not a come down, if you will. The chemicals are back. We're feeling good, feeling great about life, but with a full trip report nonetheless. I got war stories. Dylan has a war chest of war stories, so don't doubt that he'll be able to chime in at any time and provide color and context. But Tyler, the man of the hour, thanks for joining us, buddy. I love having you on these recaps. It's always good to get together and rehash all the problems that we solved that humanity didn't ask for.
I love being on here. It's always fun. Always here to hear more from you guys, always during y'all's stories.
Yeah. But EDC, let's start off with it. We went to Vegas for what felt like the pilgrimage of mainstream music festivals. And from the top, scale 1 to 10, where would you rate your experience for EDC?
Ooh, man. I mean, you want to say just 10. It's biggest by numbers, right? Biggest by attendance out there. I mean, it was pretty up there by 10, man. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Great experience. Just the journey there, being there, the journey home, all the above.
Yeah, I think it was beautiful to watch. I'm surprised you didn't get on your hands and knees and worship the racetrack, but I think you, being in communion with that many, what you knew at one point are horses running around that track. You know, I could feel how much you're like, man, I wish someone would hop in a car and just take it around a couple left turns right now.
I mean, when we first got there and first stepped onto that bank turn, I definitely was like, hey guys, just so you were aware, we're on the track. Just appreciate it. Okay, we're done. Let's go.
At one point, Dale himself was screaming, left turn, left turn.
I'm going to bump him.
I'm not letting up until I wreck someone or see your checkered flag. One of the two's happening.
Take it home, Dale. Take it home. Let's go.
They let you get up on the banks on the track there?
Yeah, you kind of have to walk across it once you come down from the grandstands. Yeah, I mean, you're not on the, you're
that was what I was wondering. On the banks.
Gotta remember it's an oval, so the whole thing's got some kind of bank to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, coming down from the grandstands, you kind of cross over them into the event.
And it's incredible how big it is. I mean, like, I guess you don't think about it, but, well, you think about it when you think, how the fuck do they put this many people in this place? I was telling someone at my gym this morning about that. I was like, anytime an event you could go, we could shave off 50,000 people or so. I think they did an amazing job of just cramming as many cattle in one arena as possible. It was truly impressive. So I'd put it up there with the pyramids, honestly.
That's what I kept reading, was even VIP was pretty slammed.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere.
The VIP experience was, if that was the VIP experience, GA, I don't know, were they just out there literally ripping the camelbacks off each other for water? Did it turn into like a dune scenario? Because us getting water was a little dicey at times. The GA experience might have just been like a fire hose, and they just kind of sprayed out there and say, okay, that's your allotment for this set, and you're good to go. I don't know.
They just spray it out from the stages.
Yeah.
Base spot in particular was definitely the far reaches of the desert over there in the corner. Just, they did spray water at that stage though. They did. I think it was during the Cranked with Tape V they were doing it.
Spray some water, hot beer. That was cool. That was our first experience was, I I mean, I don't know where we want to start pulling this thread. I mean, I would love to recount the drive alone, but the first experience of trying to get to a set, and I think the first time in my life where it was just like, you know what, RL Grime will have to see you at another place. It got so packed in there where we were just like, actually, EDC Orlando, when we were leaving and we got in all that thick, that's exactly what it was at that stage.
At the stage, wow.
At the
Just trying to
stage.
get into the VIP lane. So we threw some bows, you know, pissing people off. It's not like they weren't already pissed off, to make it to a fence, to realize that fence is not where we're trying to go. Okay, let's redirect. Now we're trying to redirect, and we're trying to force our way into the VIP experience, in which, upon further reflection, we were trying to force our way into an exit, just like everyone else. So you have the exit flow and the other people like us going into the exit, which was not meshing well, as you can imagine. And then you get spit back out into the blender of all the people just trying to go to whatever set, exit, stage-wise, whatever. So you just had this beautiful blender of fuck you, I don't know where I'm going, how do I get where I'm going? Just absolute madness. And so yeah, that was a christening of EDC right there. Tyler was gracious. I want to start off the top, trying to help us find a seat, because they have the bleachers for this one particular stage. You can go up into the bleachers to watch, which is honestly, it's a great experience.
Seek
But
higher
you can't do
ground.
that all the way around. You can only do it in like one little area.
Yeah, I think it was just for that one stage where you could kind of have the bleacher seats. I could be mistaken, but I think so. And at a certain point, we're trying to game plan what's next. And Tyler was really trying to make this happen for us. He broke off for a minute and went and started like $20-$30 trying to get people out of their seats.
Trying to pay people for a seat just to, I think it was RL Crime. And yeah, they were not, I mean, I think at one point, just to see what would happen, I threw $100 out there, and nope, those were
firm nose.
Those were VIP seats up there, and I could not afford them at that moment.
Wow, that's surprising. No one took that.
Yeah, it was, and I looked for three dudes or something sitting on the end, right? Like, oh yeah, they're ready to get going. Absolutely not.
Nothing.
Absolutely not. It was cool.
But there's tons of other stages playing, aren't there? So you gotta just go explore.
Yeah,
we found another route for sure.
Yeah. So from there we went to like kind of the main stage or whatever. And so once we figured out the flow, I think the main thing, like looking back, is I feel like it's not like it's EDC's fault, because they put up a ton of content. You realize, hey, there's gonna be a ton of people there, but maybe like prepping the expectation of like, there's a ton of people. If you want to see someone in particular, you have to go kind of early and get a better spot for it. Once we made that adjustment, yeah, massive difference in quality of show, expectation, all that.
Yeah, you started learning the paths of how to get there. Like, they have these roads that you could basically walk down, like basically cattle chutes. You can just shoot you down to the neck, to the between all the big stages.
Yeah, I'm wondering, how much more money do I have to pay to either get like a dedicated, like VIP, like almost like artist pass, where you could maybe go behind a stage and pop out at another stage, or just a fucking cattle prod. If I can be a part of the experience of shuttling people down those chutes.
That's the VIP experience, shuttling GA. Let's go.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, one of these experiences requires no additional infrastructure. It's just giving me a firm price on what's going to enhance my experience. I promise you, if I had a cattle prod, I'm cool. I don't need to worry about how I'm getting the next
pretty
set.
tight that you're traveling in between, because there's so much stuff around you. Like, do they keep them pretty tight, or?
No, it's pretty wide. Open. I mean, yeah, it was pretty open. It's just so many fucking people. I mean, it's just I don't know what the population of Panama City is. I think it's like 180,000 people. So it's the population of Panama City moving from stage to stage.
That's wild. In a very tight spot.
Yeah.
And how the movement of all those people really was synchronized. You know, you'd follow the crowd from stage to stage
Until you had what do they call them? The Asian snakes. And I'm not here to stereotype. I'm not making a broad generalization.
Asian trains.
There's plenty of other people of other ethnicities that were linked up on backpacks. But the Asians in particular did seem to have snakes that would run somewhere in the range of 5 to 25 people long.
Oh, yeah.
So you have this pseudo-organized chaos of traffic's going this way, traffic's coming this way. What's that? It's an intersection you've never seen before. Just people barreling across the center, and you're like,
Red Rover.
A spike strip of Asian train just straight across the road. Just, oh!
Now you have Titanic scenes everywhere. Everyone's like, Jack, don't leave me.
The chain's broken. Yeah, because the Asian trains, they don't break. They hold strong.
That's a firm grip. That is a, any constitution I had of potentially going through one was abruptly met with more fortitude of holding on to that camelback in front of them. So I was like, you know what? Now's a good time to take a break. My feet needed it. I'll just sit for 2-3 minutes, let this situation kind of resolve itself, and then maybe I get to go to the shed that I paid for. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll get there. But now it's been a while, so we gotta go to the bathroom again. So.
Yeah. Oh man. So to rewind though a little bit, because before we started recording, you asked about the RV situation, right? Now, on paper, having a pull behind, is much more reliable. I know my truck works, all that kind of good stuff. 5 hours before, so Tyler was like, "Hey, I'll fly to you. I'll do the drive with you." I'm like, "Appreciate it." Saved us some money, and in hindsight, definitely should have just ponied up, paid for the RV in Vegas, whatever. I didn't want, when we rented the Cruise America here in Denver, I wanted to avoid that situation because the thought of Cruise America in another city where I'm trying to have a premier experience.
We made it work. Work for what we had.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
It was easy to see a potential for that could go sideways. Or the Burning Man experience where we booked at least 4 RVs and they all canceled once they found out we were going. So I was like, well, I know if we get something from here, we can take more stuff. We don't know what the camping experience can be like. We can just bring more stuff, whatever. So rationale aside, doesn't matter. 5 hours before your brother gets here, it pours in Denver, just absolutely pours. And I'm like, awesome. Because if it rains here, about one mountain over that direction, that means it snowed. Right? So about 12 o'clock is when I got violently woken up by your brother. We're on the road by 1. I don't know. I'll skip to the chase. Dude, the first time we lost traction was like a hee ha ha. That could have been bad, but it wasn't.
That was just the training.
Yeah, the first one's like we expected at some point there's going to be ice before bridge or after bridge, whatever. Lost a little traction, got a little wiggly. Okay, we're good.
Oh, that was weird. Oh, what happened there?
Well, that's what that feels like.
Well, a lateral shift. That was kind of strange.
We'll bring it down 15. We're chill.
I thought the first time would hurt.
We're cool. Everything's good. Oh, what's that? They closed down a section of I-70? Yeah, we'll embrace a detour. That's fine. That's fine,
We got time.
Now, the second time we lost traction, there was an audible gasp that filled the cab and a confidence in me. I wouldn't call it 50-50. I'd go more 60-40 of when the truck shifted and I'm looking at the direction we're heading off the side of this bluff. Not a mountain, not going to be dramatic, but a real shitty time if we go that direction.
Nonetheless.
I mean, real not looking forward to trying to figure out whatever the fuck's left of us after going down that thing, you know? Caught some traction because you can't brake, can't gas. You just kind of, all right, we're going back this way. That one made the sphincter tight, son. Let me tell you, that one. That's the most confident I've ever been that I'm going over the side of a mountain. I was like, wow, all right, this is happening, you know?
No, there was definitely a silence afterwards where you and I were both like, "Oh, we're okay." Now, that was something, wasn't it, man? Like,
In your head, you're like, there is a timeline where we went over that.
yeah,
Dude, the brain had already started to figure out, you know, my brain was already like getting ready to say you okay, man? Am I okay? Like, I already had the script of checking in with Tyler. Seatbelt supporting us upside down. And mind you, this is what, an hour into the trip? An hour and a half?
We're just getting started.
Dude.
I don't even think we finished the first Celsius or anything. Like, we're just
Perfect.
Oh. So, you know, after that harrowing experience and now being guided back on various other detours, I think the cherry on the icing of the sprinkles of the cake was a very capable Tundra behind us. Not electing to pass. Hazards on. I'm putting my left blinker on. I'm slowing down to 5 miles an hour. I'm good, actually. Cowboy, towing the camper. I would like you to lead this journey up the mountain and down the mountain. So
There was just a Tundra that followed you.
dude, there's multiple vehicles behind us multiple times that were like,
you got it, guys.
You're doing great.
Keep going.
You got it. And you know, we decided not to stop for the person that had just flipped over coming this direction because a trucker had stopped for them, and we decided, you know, they're getting tended to. If we stop, we don't know if we can get going again.
For some reason, there was a momentum thing. Keep the momentum moving somehow. Like, just
not my problem.
Now, if the truck wasn't there, we'd probably stop.
Yes, yeah.
You know, but
there was a brief conversation there of, you know,
a mile past it. Should we? Nah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Dude, when the conditions are shitty enough where you go like, yeah, this is actually kind of survival out here. They look like they're getting help. I like nothing else we can do. You know, what are we going to give them? Some electrolytes and a snack bar? Like, I don't know. It's like,
Semi's got a sleeper cab. They'll be okay.
So anyway, that was the very beginning of the trip. You know, past that, I was just so excited to get off that mountain range because it took us down I-70. So it's going through the Rockies and all that I think it took us about 5.5 hours to navigate the mountain range. And on the way back, it was about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Because it was about a 3 hour, I think it was about a 3 hour detour just winding around that it took us on.
Taking us through people's driveways. You know what I mean? Like we're coming off the mountain as like kids are getting in the car to go to school. So just super ready to get off the mountain. And then we run into Utah, and Tyler and I both are like, man, this is God's country.
God's country.
The most beautiful bluffs. I mean, just we couldn't stop remarking about like the different colors of rocks, and you'd see like this boulder supported by like a needle. It's like kind of eroded out. It's like you just saw so many beautiful rock formations. Now, what those rock formations do just because your truck can pull it doesn't mean it's capable. And so all those beautiful, pretty rock formations funnel really high velocity wind currents through them into the plains that come and bitch slap your camper for the next 12 hours. Okay. So
build the road to catch a draft here. Like,
so that vehicle did not exceed 66 miles an hour. And I mean, I'm talking, we were topping out at 66 and at 80 on the way there. Average speed was probably like 59 to 62 miles an hour.
Cooking it. Just straight cooking. Just hauling.
Cooking something.
Hauling the mail.
to the floor.
Yeah. So as gnarly as the drive was to Burning Man, and you know how shot our nerves were with that, that's the hardest drive I've ever done in my life. I mean,
really?
dude.
Harder than Burning Man's drive.
I got to put credit where it's due. Colton did all of the driving. All of the driving. I mean, I proudly wore the crown of passenger princess and did everything I could to make his experience as good as it could be.
And you did a great job.
But the man did it. he drove the range of the Rocky Mountains.
Well, it's like one of those things, Dylan, you remember, like, it was just at a certain point, like, we had to trade off to get to Burning Man, you know, white knuckling it, whatever.
Yeah.
Then certain points of that, when we would be like, all right, hey, it's my shift, and you're in the pocket. You're like, you know what? It's fine. Like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
No need. Like, that's just kind of what it felt like. I was just like,
you're
on the way back.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said, you're already in the groove. You figured out how it feels. You know, he doesn't have to go through the process of doing all that. You've got it down.
Yeah. Now, Tyler, I never told you this, but on the way back, I was ready to tap. I got sick like the first day of the festival and pushed through the festival or whatever. So on the way back, I was feeling super drained. And it was like literally, I think I had a time mark in my head when we were stopping to get fuel or something. And I was like, I'm going to need him to drive for a few hours. Like, I can't. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I'm getting dizzy. I'm getting hot flashes. I was like, I need to trade out. Dude, like 10 minutes before we're getting gassed, like 10, 15, because I remember the time mark in my head of like, if we just get here, pull over, we'll take a beat, get some food into him, and be like, hey man, I need you to trade out. Tyler goes, man, I just want to tell you, you know I've said it before, but man, I'm so grateful for you driving. I really appreciate it. I was like, yeah, you know, no problem, man. He goes, I know I damn sure couldn't do it, dude. There's no way I could do the drive. I'm like,
damn it.
I was like, well, I guess
called my bluff before I got there.
Yeah. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
We're keeping on. That's what it is.
Hey, I asked many times, you want me to drive?
No, you did. You did.
I'm here.
Man. The drive was brutal, but
the fun nonetheless.
Getting back to the experience, what do you feel like was a highlight for you, Tyler? What was kind of a high point for you?
Oh man, you know that they had kind of an interesting little side thing we did, but that little they had that little video with the little Tesla coils, and the buzzing was part of the music and stuff. That was really cool.
That's cool.
It's kind of like a side. I think there was a bathroom break, and they were just going off to the side, and I turned to Colton, and I was like, we got to find out what that is. That's pretty cool. That was pretty neat. Kind of had the video going with it and stuff. Good spot to just kind of stop and hang out for a minute. Yeah,
they so we thought they were timing these Tesla coils with the music going on at the stage.
Mm-hmm.
So to EDC's credit, because you know I think it'd be easy to like I don't know, shit on the parts that we didn't like or whatever. To EDC's credit, there were some cool experiences if you could get to them. That one, there wasn't really a line or whatever we go in. So they had this like video that they'd made, just kind of like the graphics you would get behind a DJ thing where it's like a story of something, you know, this owl being built or whatever. But they were making music with the Tesla coils. So they had a soundtrack for the video, and to like accent the highs in the music, they were actually making music with the electricity. I thought that was super cool.
That's cool.
And these are pretty big too. I mean, they're like 20 feet in the air, buzzing like, 6-7 feet out each side of it. You know,
that's a big Tesla coil.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
And then we didn't know if people dressed up like this. Abby was the one to point it out. They had Circus Olay performers or like clowns come in like while we were waiting. And so we were kind of tripped out. Like, did this group commit to the bit so hard that they found themselves dressed up like Circus Olay people?
Like has entertainers that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a really nice touch.
That's cool.
And they had like the fish performers. I wish we would have seen the fish. They had people I don't know if you've seen the videos of the fish costume people. Those people look really fun.
They had they had there. It's like the whole drums. I've seen like a whole drum like band.
Yeah,
Go
like a
through
drumline
crowds.
thing. I
Yeah.
don't think we saw the drumline people, but I know they were out there.
There's all kinds of stuff going on. You can't see everything out there. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm overstimulated.
Plus,
Yeah.
a lot of the time you're trying to go to the sets. All that they had so much stuff kind of in the middle area, little like town area or whatever. They put on a lot of extra stuff. Bravo to EDC. If you didn't want to go listen to music, you could just go have a good time going around all the little side things they had. It was pretty.
I wish
cool.
like in a way you could just like buy like a lower ticket for just doing that shit. Because the lines were so long too. Is the thing is like, oh, you want to go on the Ferris wheel? What set are you wanting to sacrifice? Because that's like an hour and a half wait to get on that wheel, or So they had like all these experiences, but the downside, I think, in being a little spoiled by Burning Man, is that if we wanted to go see music, it was like, okay, let's just bike over there, and you can kind of squeeze in wherever. It's not like we ever really had a problem with that. If you want to go do like an experience thing, you just go do an experience thing. So that was probably the first time in my life where I felt like, oh man, I want to go do that thing, but it's either or. You have to like commit for it.
Well, you get to it and you're like, come on, really?
Yeah, right.
The first one was the first water station we stopped at. We get to it, you're like, water. Oh.
Yeah.
Were they rough or something?
Oh, dude, the lines for water, like for GA. There was one time we walked by it, and there must have been a couple big people performing at that time because there wasn't really a line. We were like, okay, cool, whatever. Every other time we went by the water, I don't know, per row, there'd probably be like 20 people waiting to get water.
Dylan, when you and I went to Ultra, the VIP was worth it just to get through the gate.
Yeah.
The EDC, the VIP was worth it for the water station.
Yeah.
Always something. Glad to spend an extra $1,000 any day for that.
just to get some tap water, some Vegas tap water.
Water just sprays out at you so fat crazily it gets all over the place. Oh yeah.
We started making marks of like, what's our VIP experience? And man, I don't like lines. Hearing how much your brother hates lines, like I knew every time we skip by a line, that was $1,000. That's a VIP experience for him right there. It's just don't have to wait in that water line.
I would have tipped a guy if I could. Like, thanks.
I think that's both of us.
Letting this
like, when I go to theme parks, I'll spend all the money for the fast pass.
Right.
Screw lines.
Yeah.
That's why we work hard, so we don't have to do that.
Yeah, exactly. That was a definite point where you go, this money was worth it. VIP experience for sure. The bathrooms could kind of go either way. What I didn't understand is why they didn't have water at the base stage. That really confounded me. Like,
that would be the stage I would think you'd want to have that at.
If there's any stage where you feel like people are going to be like overclocking their bodies, you would think it'd be the base stage.
And not many bathrooms in that one either. It was it was just kind of pushed into the corner. I feel like, the stage and all the area where the crowd was all there, but yeah, the amenities off to the side were very strange. And the nearest water was quite a ways away too. Quite a ways away.
If I remember correctly, half an hour is what it took us. During the Of the Tree set, I was like, we all ran out of water. I was like, hey, I gotta get water. Tyler's like, I'll come with you, buddy. We go, fuck that. The VIP, by the way, we went, what would be a water station. Fuck that. Let's go to the other stage. Look at the VIP situation there. Big fat fuck you. And then we had to go to another stage for VIP water, at which point the gods graced us with an oasis. And we said, cool, Thank you. And now we are almost on the other side of EDC. So we have to go back.
Dang.
Yeah. So that part I didn't understand. It's like, you know,
That
the
was
base
really the
stage?
only one. The only stage, that was the only one I feel like that didn't really have, other than like all the other, the smaller stages they have. That one in particular, it was very strange.
I feel like
Yeah.
they could just, since it's an oval, I feel like they could just run water lines around the side and be
Well, they
like,
had water at the stage, they were shooting it at people. They were like, just
like
tee
you're in an
it in,
oval.
guys.
You need
Tee
water,
it
just
in.
go to the side. Boom.
Oh shit. You want some water? Thirsty out there? Take a water can.
Or spend $20 for a bottle of water.
Now, random tangent thought. Oh my God, Dylan, I wish you could have seen this. So like 7, 8 o'clock, whatever time we woke up or went to bed. I don't remember what it is. Going to the porta potty in the morning for sure. As I'm about to get in the porta potty, dude, I have never seen a jet so close outside of maybe an air museum or, Air Force Museum or whatever. Like they had these two planes training, dogfighting. I don't know. But
That's
this
cool.
jet came so close to the ground. I was genuinely wondering if it was going to hit the stadium. I could almost see the pilot, and it did a banking turn right above the porta potties. So you
He
see it,
went-
and you're like, "Oh, damn! Just go, 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 go!"
He said, I'm going to freak these kids out.
That was about the time I woke up.
Yeah.
Yes. Banking over the camper. I'm wondering, like, did it just? I'm waiting for some terrible sound to happen after you hear that. You're like,
Oh, it was beautiful. I was like, man, you know what? If I could just get a reminder of where my taxpayers' dollars are going every now and then, like that, I probably wouldn't
There it
bitch so
is.
much. That was so cool, dude. Oh, God.
there was definitely a cost analysis. How much are they spending? How much was spent just that one little run?
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
wake up everybody. Here you go, guys. Hey.
Yeah.
Good morning.
It's almost like they were dragging one of those banners behind it, and they're like, Colton paid for this. It's like, that's my taxes for the year, just that turn alone right there. That was super cool.
How was camping there at EDC?
It was
The
good.
RV was the way to go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. They didn't have water hookup or anything, but it was all power hookup. It was good. It was
Blew our minds. They had dumpsters.
yeah. First night we're walking out, like, oh
We could just
Trash
throw our
disposal.
trash away.
yeah.
Look at there.
Not have not like Burning Man where you gotta pay someone like somebody to take it all from you.
Yeah, you don't have to like sweep the dirt off the bottom of your shoe. You're like, no move. I gotta take the dirty dirt without me.
Yeah.
Sure, why don't they just put dumpsters in like at corners around Burning Man? That makes a lot more sense. They just empty them out.
More money.
Let's be honest, they would end up like the deep playa porta potties eventually. Like, they would not survive the week. Someone would turn them into art cars and just start driving them around.
Some engineer gets it, starts driving it around.
Someone would figure out how to power them casters and put a little steering wheel in the center of that trash pile.
Every time someone tries to throw something in there, it's like, moves away.
There's a Bobcat at him.
Oh, you were definitely missed though, Dylan. There were certain things that would happen where like, oh, Dylan would love that, or your brother too. Like, I can only, Abby and I both. I mean, I can only speak for my perspective, but it was like getting a window into what your father must have been like. I mean, obviously your mom and dad, but like seeing kind of the amalgamation of your two different, like, yet both have similar mannerisms and
Yeah.
are like totally different people at the same time, right? But like Tyler would do a certain thing, and I'm like, oh, that's so funny. Like Dylan does the exact same thing, or when he's clutching his pashmina, just like so can't get in. He just has like his safety harness on.
Locked in.
Oh man, yeah, that was kind of cool to witness. I was like, I asked Tyler at one point. I was like, "Do you want me to point out how similar you guys are, or just Gotta keep it separate. Like, I don't know, man.
Just let it be, man. Just let it be.
Let it roll.
We're trying to get food in this cat. You just see Tyler exhausted at the table. I'm like, you should probably eat that, man. I'm just staring at something and just.
Start the process. Start the process. You will feel better.
Yeah, that was cool.
The every morning trying to figure out what is needed to get rid of this headache. We're gonna try a little of this. Okay, all right. Try
It's always alcohol.
Try a little of this.
Yeah,
We won't cover that one.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and the security too getting in was super lax. I mean,
I was concerned the second and third day, to be honest.
like,
guys, that's it. No,
I think the verbiage was open your bag. Please open your fucking bag. Keep going. There's people behind you.
do
I mean,
not
it was
stop. Walk through. Keep your bags open.
not
I
a
read
thought
the
between those
shuttles were
eyes.
doing a lot of security checks before they, like, people coming from Vegas into the festival. I heard they were checking their bags before even getting on the shuttle.
The amount
They
of
were almost
negative-
recommending we brought our guns with us in our lines. I mean, it was like,
I think because the shuttles go through the military base, that might be why.
yeah,
More strict.
I don't
possibly.
know, man. We didn't see.
There's insurance involved with the buses. So
With the buses, there's insurance. Out of the track. Don't worry about it here.
Tyler, did you see any other undercovers? Did we already talk about this? I don't remember seeing any undercovers.
There was one. I don't know if they were undercover. They definitely had a look about them. There was one night when, as soon as we got in, kind of like right where Daisy Lane was, the little speed bump to get over into Daisy Lane. There was
right by the 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were in there getting some hot dogs or whatever, and there was definitely some two guys standing there. There's definitely two people standing there talking. I was like,
I was reading some stories.
Go
There
around
was
to you. Oh
there
yeah,
were
I've seen tons
quite
of videos.
quite a bit that were out there.
Yeah,
I mean, they're obvious out
Yeah.
there, but
yeah.
I was reading some stories, and then the videos, of course, that came out of a couple of those kids.
Didn't get a chance to see any of them. We did, however, get to see the fight that was going on. And
Oh, bro, did we tell you about that?
oh,
No, I want to hear about
Tyler, I
this.
want to hear it from your perspective. Yeah,
well, I timed it perfectly because I was just getting back from, I think I went to the bathroom or something. I'm
Mhm.
coming across the crowd. As I'm walking up behind Colton, I approach Colton and I see some extra movement over there. I'm like, oh man, what's going on? And as I peek my head over to look, I think Abby turned. She's like, fight! Hey, look, there's fighting. And I look, and they were going to town. I mean, I think at one point, one guy got slammed against the railing that was there, and it was a pretty graphic scene as that guy was exiting the crowd. I mean,
well, his face meeting the Rager guardrail, the robust kind of rails. So it was like one giant roided up dude. Another guy's not a small guy, but he was definitely not as roided up as the other guy. The big dude got pieced up, man. And you watched 2, maybe 3 different security people make business decisions. There was a girl right there. She kind of bugged out. She went to gets the guy. The guy hops up, because they're on the rail, and he's like trying to separate them. And the crowd's doing a great job keeping the women, making a little bubble, keeping everybody kind of back away and safe. And the guy kind of starts to hop over the fence, trying to separate them. And then I heard the audible thought go through this man's head of like, fuck this. I do not get paid enough for this. And he backed off.
Everybody in the crowd heard him say that.
Dude. So this fight just kind of organically dissipates a little bit. And the big dude takes a couple steps back. He's woozy and just drops, nothing stopping his momentum, but his face onto that side rail, like scraping it down. And he gets up and he is just covered in blood. Now, for me, the sweet treat was watching the tailspin effect that had on people's psyche, just spreading around like a mind virus.
It's something interesting to watch when those types of things happen. Like you really do see like a vibe change pretty quickly, and it's not the same. Everyone's gonna have a different one.
Oh yeah, I mean, we were over here like we just watched WWE. I mean, it was great, you know. So somebody pops out of the crowd, picks up Roid Man, and starts marching him that way. I mean, the only thing I really did feel terrible about that situation, no cops ever showed up, mind you.
I don't think any more security ever showed up, to be honest.
Was it pretty quick?
About a minute and a half.
Yeah.
You know? So like
tough to get over there.
Long enough for the guy to be able to run all the way back. I mean, he's got a clear shot. They have spacing between the rails.
There's like a path that they had.
He got somebody. No one fucking came because he came back, and it's still going on. The only thing I really felt terrible about is one girl that the guy fell into. Her whole arm was like covered in blood, and I was like, "Oh, you know that."
That's a rough one.
That's like that would ruin my vibe pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, I had a couple people step on my fingers, so that definitely shifted my energy for a moment or two. But blood's a different story.
Or like at Okeechobee, that guy jumping on the fence. Ah!
Yeah.
Yeah. Y'all keep talking. I got to step away for a second.
Yeah, so I think that was the only fight that we saw, though.
Yeah, everybody else. I mean, for the most part, it was a great crowd out there. People we were interacting with. Granted, we were in most of the time with the sets, we were kind of in the VIP area. I don't know. Maybe there's better crowds.
You would think, right?
You would think there were still some pushers coming through, but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It seemed like once you settled, you know, the people around you were pretty cool. The pushers were the people just trying to shoot to the front and melee.
What do you think
their way
the
up
crowd was like at a sudden death sunrise set?
Few and far between, if I had to take a guess. 5 a.m. sudden death is...
Bold move, Cotton.
There is a special kind of person at EDC that would be there to enjoy that. I think at one point we did see a video, and it was a little exodus going on at that one.
A lot of people going that way. Not too many people going that way.
Good opportunity for him to try some new stuff, though. Like, all right, let's throw some weird shit out there and see what happens.
I've really been wanting to try out this Katy Perry remix. I don't know how it's going to sit with the crowd.
Get some of the stragglers just passing through. Maybe we can entice them in a little bit. Just get them in with the Katy Perry set, and then like 2 or 3 songs later, just hit it hard with something crazy.
I wonder what it would have been like if all the people got like the sudden death experience like we got with Tiesto. So when I was reading on Reddit or like TikTok or stuff, we must have missed it, man. Like most people, it sounds like, anticipated a old school trance set from Tiesto.
I've been seeing the same stuff. Yeah.
Where was that communicated?
I mean, it was good. It just was an interesting choice. Yeah.
Not that it was bad.
Yeah, it was
expectations
good.
Are everything, right? Like if I'm expecting a totally different set and it's like, this is my 2000s trance set, you know, where just from the beginning it's 180 BPM and the end it's 160 BPM. I was like, okay, you know, I mean, once we landed there, we were definitely not going anywhere else. That was a bird finding a nest for sure.
That was home base for the end of the trip. That's for sure. Plop on the ground. This is our space. Do you mind creating a wall around us to protect us, everybody? If you don't mind.
Please, just watch my fingers. Just please.
Dude, they got your fingers, I think 3 times. And there was literally a point I was like, just tuck it under me or something, man. Like,
yeah, dude.
Let me protect you.
You're like, my ass can be the refuge for your fingers. Just
it's
bring
soft,
them
it's
close.
plump. It'll do exactly what you need.
I mean, honestly, the 2 people I didn't mind, the 2 girls, I think it was just the fucking guy, man. Like, Dylan, to fill you in, you know, for Tiesto. We parked it. We're like, we're making seats in the middle of the crowd. We don't care. It's a sunrise set, whatever. Most people are standing. We had our little bubble, and
in the back. We're in the back.
Yeah, we're not even up front. This dude comes by and puts out a cigarette on my finger. I mean, just cranked the heel of his boot on my finger. And I was like, what the fuck? You know, I mean, it was just so much blinding rage went through my head. I'm in the wrong. I got fingers down around a bunch of feet. Totally cool. Immediately, I catch myself. I'm like, hey, it's no big deal. But the guy really wanted me to understand how apologetic he is. I'm like, there's
oh no.
There's nothing that's gonna come of it, man. Please just keep going. He's like, I really am sorry. I'm like, I really, really need you to keep moving, dude.
They're almost like, can you shut up and step on my finger again? That'll get you to stop. Like
harder.
There's a spot you were headed, and it needs you now.
Yeah, right.
Keep going. Man, that reminds me at Okeechobee. It was, I don't know, like 5 a.m, right? There's no moon, so it's completely dark. And I'm walking through the crowd. Step down, definitely not the ground that I stepped on. And I move my foot, and it's a dude's face that's like on the ground. I was like, oh no, dude. And there's a line behind me of people trying to go. And I was like, dude, I got to keep going. I'm sorry. He was wearing a black hoodie and black pants, just like on the ground in the middle of the crowd. I was like, oh no.
You're making the face like you stepped in gum, like, oh, what the fuck? Oh.
Just move my foot, his face is like, ah.
Is that your molar in my shoe? What the fuck?
Sorry, man.
Strange things to feel under your shoe.
Yeah, I was like, that is not the ground.
That was a weird
but
shit.
Squishy.
Speaking of strange things under your shoe, too, I mean, again, we got to keep giving EDC its flowers, but the trash, the sheer amount of trash on the ground was so impressive. Like,
and that, and for a racetrack, the amount of potholes everywhere that just fall into them almost just walking through.
Potholes? They could just put some
potholes.
Dirt.
Yeah, just on those roads going through the middle, just what the hell is that? Yeah.
Or like where they run the cords, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, we could really dress up this little bridge cord situation with like some glitter, reflective, something.
Someone said, like, if you could have EDC fix anything, what would it be? And it's like, just put some damn lights on the cords and the speed bumps, anything.
Some reflective tape. It will be enough.
Anything that's probably not black, actually. You know? It was just like a black little speed bump. And, you know, what am I bitching about? You know, only paid, you know, like $7,000 to be there. But,
Jumped in.
yeah, dude. It felt like people went out of their way to throw trash on the ground. Now I found some cool stuff here and there, and I asked one of the security guards, I was like, you ever find anything pretty cool? He's like, oh yeah, you guys clear out. He's like, a lot of sunglasses, you know, occasional phone, trying to get that back to people. But he's like,
Joe was always good at ground scores, finding stuff.
Mm-hmm. Found a menthol cooling patch for your forehead.
Unopened.
Yeah, there was like unopened packs of these
Ready to work.
things, like multiple of them around. It's like a gel. Oh, know, try it out. You can open the pack and you just put it on your forehead and it creates like a cooling effect. Never seen that
Nice
before.
ground score.
Yeah.
What was that?
Did y'all try the gum, Tyler? Remember that
Dude,
gum?
I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I checked every gas station between the time you let me try it to that day. I think I found Walmart, actually. The Walmart in Vegas had the gum, but it was like, it wasn't the strips. It was the
We're gonna
little
try that at
packs.
Halloween.
Oh yeah, that stuff was good. I mean,
I don't know if
Like
you told
changes
you
your taste buds or
compliment.
something.
it's electrolyte gum.
Oh,
So you're chewing it and you're getting electrolytes at the same time.
that's nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen it before, and it's sold in a.
Absolutely amazing.
It's like, this is perfect. This is what I need right here.
I just pictured one of those old infomercials where it's like black and white. It's like a horrible scenario. It's like, I'll be dehydrated. Someone like puts in a piece of electrolyte gum. It's like, oh, now I can live my life. I can rave.
Now I can rave. I love when we're at music festivals, Colton, and you're like, hey, buddy, when did you change out that gum?
I actually have 4. The glob has become.
Maybe put a new one in.
As one is slowly dissolving, you just feed in a new piece, try and give it a little life back there.
Dump it back up.
Wrap the ball with the new one.
I'm surprised more people don't step on gum at festivals.
Oh, I did.
He did.
Gum while I was there at EDC. Picked up a little bit.
I went out of my way to sit in a blow pop, so that was kind of a fresh take on stepping in gum. I actually sat in, the crunchy blow pop part and the gum. It created a cool little few with the stick. Okay, so like all of this got to blend together on my ass. Pretty sweet, pretty cool experience.
Cool candy experience though was Colton somehow got his hands on a bag of Fun Dip.
Oh yeah,
that was fun. We got to play with the Fun Dip for the first time in 2 decades. I was like,
dude, Tyler and I at some point we realized, when you just kind of black out a little bit and you start to come to at a different set, and you're like, what just happened? How did I get here, kind of thing. And for one of the days, I wore a cooking apron that had ducks on it, and a little chef hat. And so the pockets of my apron just became stuffed with shit. I mean, similar to Tyler's pockets of small figurines, a miniature Jesus. And one of the things that came out of this treasure chest of shit was Fun Dip. I have no idea where Fun Dip came from. Someone gave it to me at some point.
Snuck it in there for you.
Guess so. What was your experience of the Fun Dip? Did you like the Fun Dip?
It was fun to, reminisce, a little nostalgia, but kind of got about a couple dips in, you're like, all right, there's a sanitary problem here.
What am I doing this now? Just drop it.
I don't remember it being like this. My hands are sticky now. Yeah.
How did you?
Right. Turning the corner from 3 dips to 4, the Fun Dip just turned to dip. The sticky dip.
The stick broke. What do I do?
Dumping the sugar in.
Yeah, quickly became like, all right, let's fold this back up.
Yeah. Yeah, we did come home looking like we went trick-or-treating, and it was just treats. Not a lot of tricks, but a lot of treats.
I did get a little dragon though. That thing was so detailed, so intricate. I think we let it ride in Colton's hat when he was wearing his chef hat, and it didn't make it. But
the beautiful part is, I just talked about all that blacking out. Tyler, I can guarantee you with 100% certainty, there was no detail to that dragon, buddy. That was as Dollar Tree, China pressed, regular ass pressed plastic dragon as you could get.
It was intricate, okay? It was intricate.
Every single scale on this thing.
It was moving in my hand. It was.
Tyler saw the propane tank on the back of it, ready for fire.
It was beautiful. It was. Someone would say it's the greatest dragon man's ever seen.
It actually flew away.
It glistened with everything it had. It glistened for me, and only me.
It went out. It went out the way it wanted, on top of my chef hat until, it made it somewhere.
You probably took it off to go into a porta potty or something. That's right.
Probably in the porta potty.
I definitely did. Yeah. Coming out of a porta potty and being like, yeah, chef really cooked up a special one for you in there. I hope you enjoy it. My famous soup.
One thing I think you were maybe gonna get into it, Colton, the spoon and the teleportation it did.
Oh.
The spoon, it
Dude,
was lost.
actually, this is part of a grander scheme of hallucinations that we experienced. I think it was only on the back end. I don't think we experienced this going there in the middle.
No,
so
the last 36 hours of the trip was packed full of
leaving
Oh,
when we were
mind-blowing.
heading to Tiesto. So we did a bathroom stop, getting water, all that. I noticed the spoon's missing. So I make it a point. I'm like, Tyler, do you have the spoon? You know, I'm putting my stuff back on, whatever, put my camera back on. I was like, do you have the spoon? He's like, no, man, you had it. And I was like, well, I definitely don't have it. You know, I checked my camelback, I checked the apron, and I was like,
Abby,
I
you
don't know.
got it? No, nobody's got it.
Went out of our way to confirm. I was like, okay, you know, it's whatever. It's a $5 spoon. No big deal.
It's out there.
And then we're sitting at Tiesto, and I don't know, Tyler, one of us brought it up, and I was like, you know, what did happen to the spoon? Tyler, I think you brought it up. He's like, I don't know where the spoon went. Just looked down into the grass that was the pavement. It snatched the spoon right out of the ether. I don't know.
When you describe someone pulling something out of a portal, like his arm went deeper than the ground. It appeared in my eyes. Like he reached
I didn't reach into the camelback.
A pothole and just
nothing
pulled
around
out.
it. I mean, it was a game of I Spy. There's no spoon. I just reached into the energy of what is matter and pulled a spoon out. That blew our fucking mind. I can't overstate like how
Probably walking on top of spoons out there. People have dropped so many out there.
There was a moment of confirming, is that the same
Is
spoon?
it the same
Is this
spoon?
the same spoon?
Is it a different spoon?
Did the spoon gods just provide?
I don't know if we got clear. I think it's the same. We never really got clear from the same spoon. I mean,
that
Doesn't
spoon
matter.
came
You
home.
got one.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now, not to be outdone, when so we left that morning, drove to Walmart parking lot to avoid the exodus of all the other RVs. Once Abby went to the airport, Tyler and I give ourselves a real good pep talk of like, all right, we can do this. Food's probably what our body needs right now. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Your brother ate 2 beef sticks in the course of like 18 hours, I think was the fuel.
Going
So
strong.
we're in bad shape. So when we got Chick-fil-A in our lap, we're, you know, chowing down. Tyler, would you say you're like 7 o'clock?
Yeah,
How'd that happen?
Yeah, it's like I pointed out the time, and it was, you know, whatever time it was, and I think we kind of went about our eating.
He made a mention of it. He's like,
yeah.
you know, 7 o'clock. You know how that happened? I look at the clock, and I'm like, huh, man, time really did evaporate there. About 10 minutes goes by. I was like, Tyler, didn't that say 6:58? And we look at the clock, and it's 6:10.
What?
It's like, that was another one. You said 7 o'clock, right?
And I confirmed it.
Yeah.
And it's not like we went anywhere. It's not like the truck hadn't been already on for like a time zone change or something. So, you know, we were like, yeah, okay, that was definitely like a little bit of a visual hallucination. And then Tyler, your sticker on the rock graffiti?
There was. So we're sitting there, we're doing our thing, and I had noticed to my right there was a sticker, a Panda Express sticker, to a rock. I mean, molded to the rock. Someone took time to make this part of the rock. I don't know. I didn't mention it to Colton. I just see it in passing. I'm like, huh, that's kind of cool. Someone tagged that rock with a Panda Express decal. That's kind of neat. We go back to doing our thing. I think the clock thing happened. At some point, I look over again, and the sticker had removed itself from the rock, become a bag, and was just kind of fluttering next to the rock. Moving. It was moving, mind you. And I had looked at that sticker 2 or 3 times, admiring how good it looked on the rock. Just in my own mind, just appreciating it. And then I see that, and I think I turned to Colton and was like, hey, man, this, I think it was around that time, the acceptance of just accept whatever comes to us.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great time.
the general warmth of
Sail
feeling
on.
like, oh man, we are so ready for this 13-hour drive back.
This is gonna be great.
Peak
This is gonna
condition.
be so good.
I think
It'd be so much. It'd be so much harder just in one car. You know, we have to make it easy and haul something.
Yeah,
yeah.
let's just put a lot of weight back there. You know, let's
some wind.
let's put a pivot point in between. You know, that way the momentum can just really carry through.
I think just rounding out some of the other peak experiences. One, for me, it was a really cool experience to be a part of Tyler seeing, like, we stopped in the middle of Utah, and I mean the middle of nowhere, Utah, just to take a leak at one of those, I think it's called like a scenic viewing station or something. So it's not like a rest stop or whatever, but just like a pull off or a waypoint. And take a leak, and I get back in the truck. I'm sitting there for about 5 minutes. Tyler comes in, and he's like, "Sorry for keeping you waiting, man. I have never seen something like that. Just the stars, you know, the way you could like literally see the Milky Way."
Mm-hmm.
You know, you asked what was one of my favorite moments or peak things during that trip. That's probably it. Just to be able to, I mean, I could see the band of the Milky Way going across the sky.
Yeah, there was
just with my own eyes. It was beautiful. Just the amount of stars. We were high. It was the perfect timing. Like we were high up in the mountains. You know, it was clear sky, full dome effect.
nice.
Perfect conditions for it. Dark. You know, we're away from the highway. And yeah, I mean, I kind of just got like mesmerized for a little while and just kind of had to appreciate our place at that moment. Something else. Very good. Very good.
That's what I did going to Burning Man one of the nights when we were driving. And I just noticed we were out in the middle of nowhere, like out in the desert. And so I was like, ooh, good opportunity. I pulled off to the side. It's at like 2 a.m. So Colton is sleeping in the back. And I said, Joe, come out. Let's go look at this for a second. I never really thought about it, but like you, Colton, you come out and you're like, what's wrong now? I just said nothing, buddy. I just wanted to stop and look at the sky. You just like nodded and went right back inside.
That was kind of the expression I got. Yeah, man. Sorry, Kerry. He's like, glad you enjoyed it, man. Glad you enjoyed it. All right, let's go.
Now I can express. I mean, in the moment, I was working with no immune system, no dopamine, but like it was like seriously, that was something that impacted me. I think it's just so cool when you get to be a part of someone else's experience like that, just to like kind of be in reverence of like, because it was unreal. I mean, we've had some scenes going out to Burning Man, so you know, like in the desert, it was just like captivating. Because I think that's one of the few times I've ever seen the band of the Milky Way like that too. I mean, it was just stunning. All the stars too, the way they were twinkling.
So many.
Twinkling.
So many. I've never seen. There wasn't a dark spot in the sky across the whole thing.
It's crazy,
cool.
dude. It was crazy.
Cool.
Now my body was actively shutting down. So as soon as shake, I'm back in the truck. But
it was a little chilly too. It was a little chilly.
Yeah, it was a little chilly. And then, not to be outdone, so the Milky Way is like giving us a little peep show, you know. And then we're going down the interstate. I have never seen, like, sometimes you get those events where it's like, hey, we're gonna have a super full moon or whatever, and you're like, holy shit, the moon's pretty big, dude. The interstate lined up, the moon is coming up, and so it wasn't a full moon, but you know, most of it's there, blood orange, and it looks like we are 100 miles away from it. It looks like we're driving into town and we're gonna hit the moon. I've never, something about the mountain range maybe, or the way it was hitting, refracting with the atmosphere, it looked like just right there. That's was crazy.
We were on Rainbow Road, and that thing was at the end of it. Just
right next
else.
to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
What so
and
what?
The Taco Bell signs popped up next.
What's anything like crazy that you saw people do or heard? You know, I saw in a Reddit post that someone set off pepper spray
Mm-hmm.
at one of the stages, and looked into it. I guess that's for whatever reason that's big over in Europe for pickpocketers to set
Yeah.
off pepper spray. So when the
Yeah.
chaos is happening, they can just snatch them real quick.
I don't, fortunately enough, like Tyler was saying, the thing when you had to step aside for a second, maybe the VIP does influence the crowd a little bit. Like just the barrier to entry, you have people that are just like trying not to fuck up their experience as much. So they're not going to be kind of assholes or whatever. Like, sometimes we got crowded or, one guy was high on some Molly or whatever and trying to thrash around in a ski mask. And we were just like, hey, that's cool, dude. Just over there.
Yeah, really glad that situation kind of took care of itself relatively quick. I think everybody kind of just stared him down for a moment, like
they're just like, we have no problem with you doing this, buddy. We get it, but just
over there.
Yeah. For the general sense. Now I will say, I don't remember what night it was, but individually, we all noticed when we went to the bathroom. I think it was the first night. I think by proxy of having that many people who are traveling in from all over, you probably have a bunch of people that maybe don't have access to party favors, don't want to travel with them, or don't have good party favors. A whole conglomerate of different factors. When I went to the bathroom, I mean, there were just bodies everywhere, lining the fence, on the tables, under the tables, chairs. Like, it just looked like a real bad scene of alcohol and people getting way too messed up. So like anywhere around the bathrooms the first night, didn't notice it as much other nights a little bit, but like the first night especially, just obliteration. I mean, people just everywhere.
Really?
It really seemed like Friday night was when it was like the people who go to the strip in Vegas were like, hey, let's go check out EDC. It's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And they were there, and then about like 2:00 or so.
That's what I was reading on Reddit. Was it people that have been going to EDC over the years? They said this year felt like there was a lot of first timers.
Yeah, they were selling Four Loko there. They were selling Four Loko at EDC, dude.
What?
Yeah. It was
That's a problem.
I guess Four Lokos come out with they're promoting like a new energy drink that's alcoholic. Not that Four Loko didn't already have caffeine or something in it, but it's like
that's a real
rip.
That's a U-turn right there. That's
yeah. Oh, that meshed really well with the Shaq exclusive flavor of Beatbox. I believe the flavor is just Shaquille. I don't know. So you had Four Loko and Beatbox sponsoring the event. Someone at one point, we made friends with somebody, and I made a comment. I was like, "What does Shaquille taste like?" And she's like, "Oh, do you want some?" I was like, "Oh, no, I'm good." She's like, "Yeah, don't blame me. This shit's fucking rancid." And I'm like, I mean, I asked the question kind of crudely, but I was like, "Did you have to pay for that?" She's like, "Oh yeah." I'm like, "Oh man, you have to pay me to drink that shit right now."
Yeah, I feel like that should be one of those promoting things. Like, here, try this.
I thought that's what I thought. They would just be handing it out or something. But people were paying for it.
What happened to that? You don't really see that at festivals anymore. You used to see it all the time at festivals where any drinks or something would like pass out free drinks. You don't see that anymore.
I mean, Ultra, they were handing out Red Bulls and stuff before Ultra when we went Dylan, but like it wasn't much of that at all at this.
Oh, I did find someone's problem. So as we were leaving one night, found a phone on the ground, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I was just looking for ground score, sunglasses, or funny shit, whatever. And I found a phone, picked it up, assessed the situation for a second, and I was like, And I look over and I see the pizza girl right there, the food vendors, and I was like, She took the phone. She goes, "My fucking problem now, huh?"
That's
you were the shooter fingers and
finger guns on the way out. Now, shortly after that, your brother got to witness some nature happening out in the open. You remember that, Tyler?
What? Remind me.
Apparently after I picked up the phone, I handed the pizza girl. May or may not have done some finger blasters on the way out. Where I'm like, just kind of again, let's screen to the ground. Tyler's like, "What'd you think of that?" And I was like, think of what, buddy? He's like, I don't think I've actively ever seen a man's penis in another man's ass before.
That was crazy. There was a pashmina maybe blocking direct view, but the imagination and the lack of space for Jesus kind of told everything. That was like rounding a corner at a bar and just like, oh.
Oh God, no birds, just bees.
Just to really set the tone here, set the scene. There was movement. And, yeah, it was. That was. And I thought Colton saw it because his head and face went directly towards that at one point. That's what I was like.
It just blends in at this point.
How was that? That was something else.
I just completed my blur mural. I didn't really catch any distinct.
A lot of that happens at the rails.
Well, Abby was talking to one of the security guys. Apparently, one of the guys, he was just having a blast. You know, we're like, "What do you think of the event?" Whatever. He's like, "This is my first EDC," and he's like, "I just saw Res, and we were waiting for Isonox, and the guy was super cool." And Abby's talking him up, and at a certain point, I don't know how they got on the topic, but she was like, "So, like, what are you guys looking for, or whatever? Do you like see drug use?" And he's like, "Oh, we don't really give a fuck about the drug use. Like, what we're mainly looking out for is like." People being violent or people fucking. So I guess like people fucking in the crowd, it's like a big thing that they're really trying to deter. You know, I don't know.
No problem. They hire a team of people.
Well, I was reading stories. It was happening at the front rail at some of the sets.
I could see that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Now, at some point, someone did make their problem my problem, and a cup of puke manifested out of the crowd from some of the people that Abby was tending to or whatever. She handed it to me, and I was like, "What the fuck?" She's like, "I don't know." I was like, "Oh goddamn, that's a fucking cup of puke." So now I'm like, "Damn, this is my problem now." You know? No, I was just like, because we're on the rail, so I flagged the guy over. He was like, "What's up, man?" And I was like, "Can you throw this away for me?" He was like, "What's that?" And I was like, "That right there, that's a cup of puke, my man." He's like, "Oh goddamn." I was like, "Well, that's why, you know, you can get to a trash can pretty easily. I got to go through all that to get to a trash can."
If you can bring it closer, I'll shoot it.
So I'm pretty sure the trash can was right behind him. Like,
yeah,
right there.
You just
three steps.
You can just
3 steps.
do me a solid. Just gonna get that out of my general vicinity.
One strange thing that happened with the strange interaction with that guy that still don't really understand it is someone found a Gatorade bottle and they were like, "Hey, we don't know whose this is," and the guy was like, "Oh, I think that was one of my coworkers." And he opens it and goes, "Yeah, that was his." All right. Smells it, takes it with him. He took off. He went running somewhere to get it.
Yeah, like, and I had literally just taken like 3 half-drink liquor drinks around me and poured it into that Gatorade bottle. So I was like, "I think this might be." Opens it up, sniffs. He's like, "This is definitely my coworker."
Yeah,
running off. Abby's like, no, that is not your coworkers anymore. Don't give it to him." He was just dead set on, "I need to return this Gatorade bottle." Yeah. It's like, at a certain point, you know,
he needs it. He needs it.
Now I'm a worker, and my Gatorade bottle shows up an hour later from the midst of the crowd. I might go, "You know what? I think I'll get a Shaquille O'Neal Gatorade."
Same color.
Give me some Powerade this time.
Yeah.
What set did you make it up to the front for?
I know I was talking to you about that, Dylan, wanting to get right to the front.
Yeah.
So at one, I think the closest I got, because I kind of dipped off for a little bit during the Liquid Stranger and Tape B and Cranked at the back-to-back they had. And I was probably within, 7-8 feet, maybe like 2 or 3 lines, maybe 2 lines of people back from the rail at that one. That's why I was able to feel the water there, because they didn't shoot that far out. I was able to feel the water. I kind of meandered up there, and that was when I was, I did the handing out raffle tickets to people. That was a hit. And so
You did
during
do that?
during that process, I kind of meandered my way to the front, and it helped, dude. If you want to have people just give you pockets full of little figurines, little ducks and whatever other little useless trinkets you can find there, beautiful, little pieces of art, of course, but
Oh yeah.
very lucrative way to do it. You're giving them a piece of paper and they give you a little item back.
So you said save for the raffle, save for the raffle.
Yeah, that Anakin, like, what's that for? It's for the raffle. What raffle? For the raffle. And then they'd be like, oh, they'd hand it to their friend and got to do this. It's for the raffle.
Oh, that's so awesome! You did that. We came up with that at Ultra. Like that would be so funny.
It was a hit, dude.
Bruh.
People loved it. Now,
it
every
really
now
was.
and then, someone, like a couple girls at the bathrooms, one girl could not let it go. She was like, "What raffle?"
It's the raffle. It's the raffle.
Like that.
It's the raffle, man.
What is the raffle for? I think when enough people asked that, I started saying to live another day.
To live another day.
But yeah, that was fun. That one girl did not not knowing what the raffle is for.
If hyperfixation was a person, I was like,
know what this raffle is for.
I'm watching this interaction. I'm like, might I have to step in here? I mean, she's what raffle?
Really?
She like stopped her friend. Her friend's like, no, it's
Like
just for the
another one?
raffle. We can go. She goes, no.
No.
What's the raffle?
She's a professional raffle person.
Yeah, she's
I was
never
like,
lost.
man, it's not like there's a fucking bingo happening in 2 hours. Like, it's just
Access the next raffle. If you win this, we get into the next raffle.
it's a tiered raffle system.
Actually, I got the tickets for that one too, right here.
There was one interaction where it was two guys, and I handed one to one guy, and the other guy kind of heard me saying it's for the raffle, and he started playing along. He was like, "Dude, it's for the raffle. You don't remember hearing about the raffle? Like,
yeah.
they were talking about it earlier. You don't remember that?
You don't remember? It was in the memo.
His friend's like, what?
You could just see gears grind.
We talked about it, dude.
Yeah, we bought this ticket. He's just here to deliver it. What?
We bought it a few hours ago.
Yeah.
He brought it to us.
At one point, I think I handed what was left of the roll off to someone else. Kind of gave him directions on what to do and sent him back out into the crowd.
I saw the moment Tyler was like, I don't think I want to do this anymore. Did I just throw him away? I was like, see if we can hand him off. You never, first person, that dude bit. He was like,
He was
what do I
into
do
it.
with him? Okay. You hit the new raffle soldier out there just spreading raffle
spreading out
dreams.
the raffle.
Spreading the raffle.
It's for the raffle. Now that would be really cool too if you actually could make a totem. On like the third day, it says the raffle.
Mhm.
And you're doing the raffle. Y'all have a totem?
No.
No.
Yeah, it's just y'all three.
Just our own spirit and energy.
And I would say that EDC Vegas is a place where not often I'm like, yeah, totem would be a good idea, but there,
A lot of flags. There were a lot of flags. I don't know how.
I read that.
I mean, there was a ton of flags, mostly over in the GA side. But I remember just looking over at GA once and just seeing. I think there were points where people wouldn't even been able to see the stage very well.
yeah.
Just big flags, like doubled up flags too.
Mm-hmm.
Easy
Yeah.
to stick those in, I guess.
Would have been a perfect "I hate flags" flag moment to have that.
I hate.
But overall, man, I mean, it was great. It was a great trip. I think I could be convinced to do a day again. Tyler, I think we could send right back off into ether. I think next weekend he's ready for another EDC Vegas. But
yeah, I'd be into it.
I think
Tyler's got the bug.
yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a real good time.
Yeah, I mean, I was keeping up with reading a lot of the stuff. I mean, the one thing everyone talked about was how packed it was, for sure.
And
Yeah.
and it was interesting the way they did have the GA and VIP areas. They, for the most part, it was just split right down the middle of the stage.
Mhm.
Entire side GA, the other side VIP. And some of the VIP areas were a little smaller, maybe a little shallower, but I mean, that's pretty much how they had it set up. Just almost down the middle.
Outside of the water, VIP worth it? Like, did they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even
Nice.
close. If anything, I didn't do the survey. I should have done the survey. Another tier of VIP is actually what.
You're like, I'll pay more.
Yeah,
Yep.
I happily would have spent another $1,000 if they would have got me less people, faster access to shit. I'd catch me in the middle of that shit for an upsell too. I mean, for
Seems
sure.
like as the festival crowds get older and they're going, everyone can afford a VIP now. And so they're just like overselling the VIP stuff in it. It used to be you had like room, right? Now it's just stuff as many people in there as you can.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to plan the next one. Well, you guys already have one in the plans, but you know, it's always fun to have something to look forward to where you can fry your brain cells and get in touch with your third eye, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, I was almost going to go to Forbidden Kingdom, which is like right in my backyard here in Orlando. I was like, might
Is that
still
this
change my
weekend?
mind day of. It is tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, I believe it is.
Get a day ticket.
Yeah, you know what they say. Never say no.
Yeah.
Never.
I might go
no.
Saturday. We'll see how it goes. It's supposed to rain, so hopefully.
Perfect.
Yeah.
They don't stop. They don't stop it, dude. It's super muddy out there.
Yeah. So
I can well, you'd have to get your own duck apron, but you can go up there and cook some mud soup.
I can find some more raffle tickets.
All right, boys. Well, I got to hop. Other than that, Tyler, thank you for. I mean, I'm thanking you because getting the chance to bear witness to your scarring is just such a good time.
It was a great time. Thank you. It was. I mean, y'all invited me. I think at Burning Man. Actually, is when you invited me. You're like, hey, you gotta get your ticket now.
What I love about our friend group is like it's a threat.
Yeah.
It's an open invitation, but it's like, no, we'll follow through on it. You just decide if you want to be a part of it too.
Yeah, we're already doing it. You came to me. I was like, no, and you're like, no. So you'll have a better chance with Tyler. You will with me on that one.
It's like, and how about you?
They got raffles.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, I love you guys. Hey, next week, I don't know. Tune in. I think we might have a guest. We might not. But either way, if you want to subscribe, that means more of our content shows up on your page, whether that's Spotify. Remember, you can watch this on YouTube as well. Or if you're watching on Spotify, you don't have to just listen to us. Till next week, we love you guys. Peace.